focus on the first round of the 2017 NBA draft, and welcome to our mock draft here on NBA TV. Here's the picks as we know them. And guys, we will have you represent each of the teams here and go around and pick by pick. But we should note there are several teams that don't appear on that list of 30. That's because they have decided for one reason or another to trade away one of their assets, including the NBA champion Golden State Warriors, who do not have their pick this year, as well as the Rockets, Cavs, Clippers, Wizards, and Pelicans. But the Philadelphia 76ers do have a pick. By way of a draft, number one, they traded the pick with Boston just a couple of days ago, Stu, and you will do the job of representing Brian Colangelo with the Philadelphia 76ers, first pick of the 2017 NBA TV mock draft.
First pick in this draft is Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz, to me, is the most talented, potentially transformational player in this draft, and makes a lot of sense for the 76ers because they have been in search of a transformational point guard for their franchise. When you talk about Markelle Fultz, you're talking about someone who is a terrific athlete, an explosive athlete, very creative, has great size at 6'4", 6'5", 6'10" wingspan, big hands, big feet, and a guy that can create shots in the mid-range, and he also shoots the ball well from the three-point line as well. But his best skill is his ability to make others better. He has the ability to be a creative passer, make others better, and I think he's going to be a player that can play either the 1 or the 2 alongside Ben Simmons on the ball, off the ball. I think his only liability right now is where is his defensive improvement.
Yeah, and I love Fultz as the number one pick for this team in particular. I liked him if Boston had had the number one pick, but I really like him with Philly at that number one pick, needing a guard to add to their mix. They've drafted all these big guys, Embiid, Simmons, Saric, Okafor. This is the first guy who balances out the picks they've had, these high lottery picks they've had. And to me, Markelle Fultz is a guy, when you take a hungry guy who hasn't been spoon-fed and hadn't been a blue chipper since he was in 6th and 7th grade, you get a different sort of work ethic, a different chip on the shoulder.
And add him to the young team, and you hit earlier, Stu, that it takes the pressure off of Ben Simmons, because a lot of people thought they were going to give him the basketball. Now you have someone else you can give the ball, facilitate, get to the basket, break down the defense. And also, too, when he's on the weak side of the floor, will he be willing to catch and shoot? You know, if you become a playoff team, you slow down for a second. When you become a playoff team, you have to be ready to catch and shoot on the weak side of the floor.
That is something that they've struggled with. And if you play Ben Simmons, if you put Ben Simmons on the ball and you put him in pick and rolls, everybody's going to go under. And he hasn't shown yet he can hit that shot consistently. Not a problem with Markelle Fultz. So that's something where in the modern NBA game with the hundreds of pick and rolls that teams run every night, you need a guy that can rise up and knock that shot down. Markelle Fultz can do that. He's an explosive player. And I also think for Philadelphia, a fan base that's been unbelievably patient waiting for this to happen. To have the number one pick 2 years in a row, I think excites the fan base, gives them reasons for hope. And this is a guy that I think will play with that kind of passion, kind of a chip on his shoulder. They like that in Philly. I think for a lot of reasons, this is a good pick for them.
Simmons or Fultz, the Rookie of the Year? I think those two will be the front runners.
Good point. Ooh.